You smell what the Rock is cooking. The Rock says, the Rock says, the Rock says, the Rock. I hear voices in my head, they counsel me, they understand, they talk to me.
Hello, and welcome to the AEW'S Wrestling Talk Show with Mr. Rock Jones and
Sean Smith as we review our reactions to the first AEW pay-per-view with paying fans.
yes, fans are back at a wrestling show. Wonder what that...
Around 500 of them.
Yes, I've forgotten what those are like.
Insane. As we bring you our reactions to AEW Double or Nothing.
Double or Nothing took place this past Sunday, the 30th of May, from Daly's Place in Jacksonville, Florida. However, the important thing to note is, like another company, which will not be named,
For legal reasons.
this will mark the final pay-per-view to take place from Daly's Place, because like the competition, in mid-July, AEW will resume touring, and the next pay-per-view, All Out in September, is scheduled to take place in Chicago.
Yes, indeed.
So, for Double or Nothing, we have 10 matches, plus another announcement of a jump ship traitor.
Yeah.
Well, let's start with the buy-in match.
For the NWA Women's World Championship, as Serena Deeb put her title on the line against Riho.
Yes, Rio looks to be the first superstar to have held the AEW Women's Championship and the NWA Women's Championship.
But unfortunately, that did not happen.
Yes, due to the Serenity Lock being locked in a 14-minute back and forth match allowing Serena Deeb to retain the NWA Women's Championship.
So now, moving on to our main match card, as Hangman Adam Page took on Team Taz's Brian Cage.
This is, how do we say, two big guys going at it. Because, however, the deciding factor of this was kind of a miscue by Brian Cage.
Yes.
When he had a miscue with Ricky Starks and Hook, which allowed Adam Page to perform the Buckshot Lariat onto Brian Cage, allowing him to pick up the victory in a 12-minute opening match.
Not a bad run action to get underway for AEW Double or Nothing. However, this next match was for the AEW World Tag Team titles, as Matt and Nick Jackson, with Brandon Cutler in their corner, defend the AEW World Tag Team titles against Eddie Kingston and John Moxley.
Yes, how do we say this in a polite way? Kingston and Moxley sort of formed this alliance after Kingston saved Moxley from being quote unquote blown up.
Yeah, let's not talk about that because we all know how that went down.
We all know how tag team matches work. It doesn't really make a difference which company you're looking at. A tag team match pretty much goes the same way. The momentum goes back and forth between both teams.
Yeah.
And there's at least one, if not two, hot tags.
Throughout this match.
But in the end, one move would make the difference.
It was.
With the Young Bucks hitting the BTE triggers onto Jon Moxley, in allowing them to retain the tag team championships. And considering what would happen with the world championship, as predictable as that was going to be, it's not really surprising that they want to keep the elite with most of the championship gold at the minute.
Yes.
Next, it was time for the Royal Rumble match.
Copyright.
I mean, Casino Battle Royal.
So let us take you through the order that these superstars were in their groups.
Yeah, so for those who don't know, this match has happened several times in WWE. AEW, I mean.
Copyright.
So they separate the superstars into the categories you would normally see on a deck of playing cards. Hence the reason it's called a Casino Battle Royal. So the clubs in this match, we had Christian Traitor Cage.
We also had Matt Seidel.
Powerhouse Hobbs.
Golden, Dustin Rhodes.
And Max Caster.
In the Diamonds, we had Isaiah Cassidy.
Matt Hardy, whose name is not copyrighted.
No, it's not. Preston 10 Vance, the Dark Order.
Nick Kamoto.
And Serpentico. Now, I bet you're wondering, hold on a minute, there's somebody missing.
We'll get to that person in a while.
Yes. In the Heart section, we had
Brian Pillman Jr.,
Greg Garrison,
Colt Cabana,
Anthony Bowens.
Penta El Giro Mito.
In the Spades section, we have
Jungle Boy,
Mark Queen,
Alan Sorrow,
Evil Uno of the Dark Order,
and Lee Johnson. Now that just left the surprise entrant into this match.
who was the Joker into this match.
Who is a questionable character, at least was when he was with a different company. And that person is Leo Rush.
Yes, you heard us right. Leo Rush.
And now, the order of elimination.
Yeah.
Matt Sydal was the first person to be eliminated by Max Caster. Then Max Caster would be eliminated by Christian.
Yeah.
Then the Pentacle was eliminated by Preston and Vance. Then we had Nick Kamoto eliminated by Dustin Rhodes, as was Preston and Vance. But then Dustin was himself eliminated by Powerhouse Hobbs.
Unfortunately.
And Colt Cabana was eliminated by Isaiah Cassidy. Anthony Browns was eliminated by the combination of Brian Pillman Jr. and Jeff Garrison. Then Jeff Garrison was eliminated by Matt Hardy. Brian Pillman Jr. was then eliminated by the combination of Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Green. Then Alan Sarah was eliminated by Lee Johnson.
Then
Lee Johnson was eliminated by Matt Hardy. Then we had Evil Uno eliminated by Penta. Then Penta was eliminated by Jungle Boy. Then Powerhouse Hobbs was eliminated by Christian. Then Real Rush was eliminated by Matt Hardy. Isaiah Cassidy was eliminated by Jungle Boy. Mark Queen was eliminated by Christian. This would leave 3 superstars in Matt Hardy, Christian, and Jungle Boy.
But next to be eliminated was
Matt Hardy by Christian. Of course, those two are not other strangers to each other.
no, in a company that shall not be named.
That would leave Jungle Boy and Christian.
And the winner of the match and getting a number one contendership and becoming number one contender to the AEW World Championship is
And a slight surprise for me personally, Jungle Boy.
yes, you heard us right. Jungle Boy is the number one contender to whoever is the AEW World Champion.
Now, last week we did say that the favourite into this match was Christian. They teased Christian having a World Championship program when he appeared at Revolution.
Yes.
They could still do that because there's no guarantee that the championship match that Jungle Boy will happen at the next pay-per-view. They could easily do it on an episode of Dynamite.
Yes. And now this next match is America versus Britain.
Yes, the American Nightmare.
Or otherwise known in this match as the American Dream.
Correction, not his father.
Oh, copyright. The American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes takes on Britain's Anthony Ogogo in what was a very personal match.
Yes, it's hoping that kind of started when QT Marshall would turn on Cody. And Anthony would be added into this mix.
He would.
However, the winner of this match After 10 minutes, well, 11 minutes-ish, is Cody Rhodes.
Yes, you heard us right. Cody Rhodes with a vertebraker onto Anthony Ogogo.
Isn't that basically the same thing as the Crossroads?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you can kind of get away with it. But now, this next match was for the AEW TNT Championship as Rusev Nero puts his championship on the line against Lance Archer.
Yes, 1 year ago at Double or Nothing 2020, the TNT Championship was created, and Lance Archer was in the match to decide the inaugural champion against Cody, as he was known then. Now, considering the fact that 2 weeks prior to Double or Nothing, Miro had won the championship from Darby Allin with a bit of a system, two people, which we'll get into the match later on. There was no real way that he was going to lose the championship. Yeah.
No.
As how do we say this? Miro Crash.
With the game over.
To retain the TNT Championship. And, quote unquote, which we will get to momentarily, Miro may not be alone in AEW for much longer. That's a story for a different time.
We'll get on to that in our next show, coming up very shortly. This match was for the AEW Women's World Championship as Akira Shida put her title on the line against Dr. Britt Baker, DMD.
Slight note here, not that it played any major part, but on the episode of Dynamite prior to Double or Nothing, we did see that the TNT, the Women's Championship, had gone under a slight redesign.
Yes, the place of the AEW Women's World Championship no longer looked like a toy.
Yes, they have slightly tweaked the size of the plates, but overall the title still looks mostly the same.
But it's just got bigger plates. Now, onto the match between Dr. Britt Baker and Akira Shida. This match was good.
Yes, Britt Baker is arguably the best women's wrestler that AEW has, because let's face it, the women's division of AEW isn't exactly the highlight of the show. Although, again, as we will get on in another show, it may be slightly improving soon.
But as we got near the end of the match, the results happened.
Yes. Dr. B. Britt Baker was able to do the lockjaw onto Shida, making her submit and ending her reign as AEW Women's Champion after 1 year. Because funnily enough, Shida won the Women's Championship at Double or Nothing last year.
So if you misheard us, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, is your new AEW Women's World Champion.
Then, officially, I believe that Shida's reign was 1 year and 1 week.
Yes, which is very good reign. Now, remember what we said about the certain two individuals getting involved in a TNT Championship match? Well, here they are now as Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky took on the team of former TNT champion Darby Allin and the Icon Sting.
Yes, Sting, who
Sting.
well known in the days of WCW
Yeah,
and in the company that
he's kind of going for a very rough bad patch at the moment, which we'll get on to later.
I was gonna say the company that AEW seemed to be having a working relationship in Impact Wrestling.
Oh, yes.
And at the age of 62, yes, you heard it right, 62, 10 years or so older than Mark Calloway. Not copyrighted because we use his real name.
Of course.
Is still wrestling, I would say, at a high standard.
Yes, and that was certainly proved in this tag team match.
Now, obviously, because of his age, I would say he's not going to be wrestling every week or every pay-per-view.
No.
But yes, as we mentioned, during the TNT Championship match between Darby Allin and Milo, Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky decided to go after Sting, which essentially cost Darby Allin the championship for setting up this match. However, Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky would learn that revenge comes in the form of a Scorpion Death Drop,
Yes.
with allowing Darby Allin and Sting to pick up the victory here.
And next match is a three-way match for the AEW World Championship as the belt collector Kenny Omega puts his AEW World Championship on the line against freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy and Pac.
Anyway, you do know the term triple threat is not copyrighted.
We'll call it a triple threat, even though AEW say anyway.
So, yes, Kenny Omega, who is the current AAA World Champion, Impact World Champion, and AEW World Champion. Now, I don't believe that this match was really in any question as to who was going to win.
No, but the match is good though.
Yes, and
Included.
a referee bump in a World Championship match. Imagine that.
Yes, imagine that.
But the ending of this match, especially the way that it ended, you could argue that someone is still due a rematch.
Yes.
Because Orange Cassidy would pin Kenny Omega after hitting the orange punch, only for Kenny Omega to be able to hook Cassidy into a crucifix pin long enough to keep his shoulders down for a 3 count,
Yeah.
allowing Kenny Omega to retain the AEW World Championship, and he, along with the Young Bucks, continue to essentially dominate the main championships in AEW.
Pretty much.
Before we get on to the main event,
This one we didn't see coming.
Tony Schiavone would announce that a certain name in the wrestling business had joined AEW and would be a analyst for the upcoming Rampage, not to be confused with a wrestler of the same name. So that AEW has coming in August on the TNT network. And that superstar or big name, the world's strongest man, Mark Henry.
Yes, Mark Henry is now all elite as an analyst and a coach.
Yes, another jumped ship name. Thank you very much, Takeo.
Yes, thanks. But now we go on to our main event match.
Yes.
The Inner Circle versus the Pinnacle in a Stadium Stampede match, where if the Inner Circle lost this match, they would be forced to disband for good.
One name, or one word I should say, describes this match.
And that is,
Chaos.
I would have said, anarchy. The match started off with the Pinnacle arriving in a limo, with the Inner Circle ambushing the limo, only for the Pinnacle to ambush the Inner Circle right back.
Yes, this match aired in the TIAA bank field of Daly's Place.
Literally right next door to the actual Daly's Place arena.
And would essentially go all over the place. Jericho would, of course, battle
MJF in the office areas.
yes, and MJF would attempt to further damage Jericho's hand, only to be hit with a stapler. And,
It'd be stapled.
yes, and back.
Floyd.
Yes, then they would go. This place would go all over the place. MJF would be thrown off of a upper stands of Daly's Place, which essentially eliminate him from the match. And at the end of this, when they actually got back to the ring, considering the way that the War Games, I mean Blood and Guts, match ended, it was only fitting that Sammy Guevara would perform the 630 senton on Spears to pick up a pinfall victory.
Which would mean that the Inner Circle will not be forced to disband.
For now, at least. However, I have a nasty feeling that this is not quite over yet, because to me, and certain companies accused of this all the time, this is almost a case of 50-50 booking. The Pinnacle won Blood and Guts. The Inner Circle won the Stadium Stampede. There's got to be a blow-off.
It's gotta be.
So that was it for the 10 matches of Double or Nothing. We will run through the results one more time.
Yes. Starting off with the buy-in match, Serena Deeb retained her NWA Women's World Championship against Riho by submission.
The main card, Hangman Adam Page defeated Brian Cage.
The Young Bucks retained their AEW Tag Team titles as they beat the team of Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley.
Jungle Boy won the Casino Battle Royal by lastly eliminating Christian Cage to earn a future AEW World Championship match.
Cody Rhodes defeated Anthony Ogogo.
Miro defeated Lance Archer to retain the AEW